Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Spare a Thought, the podcast for curious minds, exploring creativity, culture, and stories from the margins. I'm your host, Tom Spare. When I started this podcast in October 2024, I only ever thought that the show would exist online via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and all the other streaming services out there. That was until the Be the Change Media Network CEO, Lily Mott, sent a message around the network's WhatsApp group asking for volunteers to take part in the Be the Change Media Academy's digital storytelling workshop roadshow. As a side note, Be the Change Media Academy is a youth-led training program designed to equip the next generation of creators with the tools, confidence, and values needed to shape media for good. Thanks to Lily and the Academy, I'll be taking the podcast from online to in-person, which is really exciting. For the first time, I'll be recording a live episode of Spare a Thought on the 16th of July at Cathays Community Centre on Cathays Terrace in Cardiff between 6 and 8 p.m. Doors open at 6 p.m. and we'll be getting started at 6:10 sharp. So make sure you're not late. The venue is all on the ground level, so it's accessible. Tickets are free, but capacity is limited, so bookings close the night before the event, so don't leave it too late to grab your spot. This event is one of 7 tour dates around the UK. Details of the others are in the show notes if Cardiff isn't your neck of the woods. The Cardiff event, called Reporting the Underreported, will feature our CEO, Lily Mott, myself, and our special guest, Harriette Wight, who's a breathing coach. From 6:10 to around 7 p.m, Lily and I will be talking about media literacy and storytelling. Here's Lily, who will tell you a bit more about the evening.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lily Mott, and I'm the founder of Be the Change Media Network. I am also the host of Be the Change podcast, and I'm also the co-host of The Political Dispatch with Tom and our good friend Sid. And we met at Cardiff University. So this Cardiff stop on the digital storytelling workshop tour is going to be full circle for us. Be the Change Media Network really got started in Cardiff because of Tom, Sid, and I working on our podcast. So it's going to be really exciting to be back in Cardiff for this workshop. But I'm so thrilled about this roadshow. It's going to be an incredible opportunity to make connections with other creatives all across the UK. And in Cardiff in particular, it's going to be a great opportunity to meet other creatives that are in your area. And for my portion, because I know Tom's going to be talking a bunch about his portion of the workshop, because we're going to be co-facilitating together, I'm going to be focusing a little bit on media literacy, media diets, the stories that we consume, the feelings that those stories elicit, the people that we're listening to, the creators, whose content we're consuming, and why that matters. We're going to kind of kick off the workshop with that, because I think it's really important to understand and really consciously think about and critically think about the media that we're consuming before we even consider creating our own. It's really important to have that baseline of, what do I see every day and how is this impacting me? And this could be every day, this can be scrolling through your phone. I think that's an important part, this media literacy aspect. But it can also be stories that you grew up with, stories that your family's told, movies that you watched as a kid, books that you were read as a child. These are all really important pieces of your media diet and the stories that created you and brought you to where you are today. So we're going to kind of start off the workshop with that. That's going to be my main portion of the workshop. And then Tom's going to take it away and do an incredible workshop facilitation around storytelling, podcasting, and of course, then we're going to have a live podcast recording, which is going to be awesome because Spare a Thought is incredible. I've been on Tom's podcast, Spare a Thought, and it's going to be awesome to be able to see it live. So I cannot wait to see a bunch of people there. It's going to be a wonderful experience. As Tom and I were joking, we are going to sell out Cathays Community Center. So everybody better be there, be square. That's all I've got to say. See you there.
As Lily explained, she'll be opening the event, and then we'll be talking about my approach to podcasting and storytelling, and ethical storytelling in particular. I'm over 100 episodes deep now in terms of producing, most of them across the 2 podcasts, The Political Dispatch, which Lily mentioned, which I make with her and our friend Sid, and of course, this podcast, Spare a Thought. Along the way, I've learned a lot about what it actually takes to put an episode together, writing, scripting, editing. And I want to share some of that with you, along with a wider look at storytelling and ethical storytelling, some examples of episodes I've made, and what I've learned from how those stories have landed. I'll also talk a bit about writing more broadly, because alongside the podcasting and my full-time job in housing, I do a lot of creative writing too, and I'm hoping to share a new project with the audience that I'm going to be putting out there this autumn, so you'll get a small preview of that on the night. After a short break, the remainder of the evening will be dedicated to my live podcast debut, where I'll be joined by my friend Harriette Wight. Here's Harriette introducing herself.
Hey everyone, I'm Harriette. I'm a breathing coach and menstruality mentor, and I can't wait to join Tom live on the 16th of July as part of the Be the Change tour. I'll be sharing all things breathing, where we could potentially go wrong with our breathing, the difference between male and female bodies and how we breathe. Yes, there is a difference. And the health benefits of breathing well and different breathing modalities. Can't wait to see you there.
Spare a Thought is about stories from the margins, and Harriette's work sort of fits perfectly within that theme, because we all breathe, but do we sort of question it of, do we breathe well, and does that look different for men and women and how they breathe differently, and how can it improve our health outcomes? It does actually remind me of a previous episode I did about sort of part 2 of a long COVID sort of duo that I put out. And I interviewed a couple of breathing coaches, actually, both of whom have experience of long COVID and how breathing has helped them to support their recovery. So I'm really looking forward to having that deeper conversation with Harriette to sort of move that conversation on a bit more in general health terms and how breathing can help. Spare a Thought Live, reporting the underreported, will be taking place on the 16th of July at Cathays Community Centre in Cathays Terrace in Cardiff, CF24 4HX, between 6 and 8 p.m. Doors open at 6, starting sharp at 6:10. It's free to attend, but there are a limited number of tickets and bookings closed the night before, so head to the show notes to book now and book your spot. I'll be joined by Lily and Harriette for my first ever live in-person podcast recording. Can't wait to see you there. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment and share with your family, friends, colleagues and schoolmates. The title track for this show is Young Shall Grow. Credit and thanks to Afrocluster, Magugu and Asha Jane. Spare a Thought is a Be the Change Media Network production. I'm your host, Tom Spare. Thanks for listening.
Whether you like